Why Love Breaks, the hidden truth most people never learn. I am Joseph Habimana Ngoma, an author, teacher, and messenger of truth. My writings focus on spiritual warfare, deliverance, and the restoration of God's image in humanity, truths that many churches overlook but which countless souls desperately need. Through divine revelation, I expose the unseen battles that keep people in bondage and help readers understand how to live in freedom, purity, and light. If you want to read my books, simply search my name, Joseph Habimana Ngoma, on Google, Amazon, or any major bookstore platform. My books are for anyone seeking truth, deliverance, and transformation through the power of God's Word. People cry when love breaks. People collapse when promises fail. People bleed silently when the one they trusted becomes the one who wounded them. Tears fall. Sleepless nights come. Questions rise in the heart like storms. Why? How? What did I do wrong? Many become angry. Many become bitter. Many sink into depression. Many lose the desire to love again. But very few stop and ask the deepest question. Why did this love die? Because the truth is this. Love never dies by accident. Love never dies without a cause. Something always kills it. Love is not weak. Love is not fragile by nature. Love is one of the strongest forces God placed in the human heart. So when love breaks, something attacked it? Something poisoned it? Something starved it? Something invaded it? Something was allowed to enter the sacred place where love was supposed to be protected? This message is not for condemnation. This message is for revelation. This message is to open blind eyes and heal wounded hearts. Because until you understand why love breaks, you will keep rebuilding on the same broken foundation, and wondering why it keeps collapsing again and again. The truth is this. Love can survive betrayal. Love can survive distance. Love can survive storms. But love cannot survive ignorance. So today, we go deeper. Beyond emotions. Beyond excuses. Beyond surface explanations. Because healing begins when truth enters. Let me take you deeper. One love breaks when it is built on the wrong foundation. Many relationships begin with excitement. Others begin with emotions, attraction, romance, or sweet words. But not everything that feels good is true. Not everything that sounds sweet is pure. And not everything that begins fast is built to last. Here is the hidden truth. Love that is built on the wrong foundation will always collapse no matter how beautiful it looked at the beginning. Many people do not enter relationships with love as their first intention. They enter with hidden motives buried deep inside their hearts. Some come for financial gain, not for partnership. Some come for papers, status, or opportunities, not for covenant. Some come to escape loneliness, not to build destiny. Some come to use you, not to love you. Some come to compete with their friends, to prove something, not to commit. Some come to cover their insecurities, not to offer their heart. And here is the painful truth. When the interest ends, the relationship ends, because interest was the foundation, not love. The system of single life inside marriage. Another dangerous foundation that destroys love is this. Some people marry physically, but remain single mentally. They change their title, but not their system. They change their status, but not their mindset. They change their name, but not their vision. They marry, but still live like they are single. They marry, but still think like they are alone. They marry, but still protect only themselves. They marry, but still pursue private desires. They never shifted from my life to our life, my money to our future, my freedom to our responsibility. Marriage is not a ceremony. Marriage is not a ring. Marriage is not a title. Marriage is a transformation of vision, system, and responsibility. A man does not become a husband by saying I do. He becomes a husband when he accepts responsibility. A woman does not become a wife by wearing a dress. She becomes a wife when she accepts the weight of partnership. When people marry without changing their system, love is abused. Trust is broken. Responsibility is avoided. Faithfulness becomes optional. Sacrifice becomes a burden. And slowly, love dies. Final revelation of this point. Love does not break because people fall out of love. Love breaks because it was never built on truth, maturity, and responsibility from the beginning. Anything built on deception, interest, immaturity, or selfishness will collapse, no matter how loudly people call it love. Here is the spiritual truth. The unbreakable law of true love. Any love built on interest, not purity, will collapse the moment the interest disappears. Interest can pretend. Interest can lie. Interest can endure for a season. But when the benefit ends, the mask falls and the relationship falls with it. God never designed love to be sustained by advantage. He never created love to survive on what someone can get. He created love to stand on what someone is willing to give. God designed love to be built on 5 unshakable pillars. Truth, because deception poisons love. Commitment, because love without loyalty is just emotion. Sacrifice, because real love always costs something. Responsibility, because love must carry weight, not run from it. Purity, because love cannot survive where corruption is feeding. Remove even one of these pillars, and love begins to lean. Remove several, and collapse becomes inevitable. If the foundation is wrong, the building cannot stand. You can decorate it. You can post it on social media. You can smile in public. You can shout we are in love. But structure always reveals truth over time. And here is the most painful revelation of all. No prayer can keep what was never real. Prayer does not turn interest into covenant. Prayer does not transform deception into truth. Prayer does not force responsibility into immature hearts. Prayer does not make purity grow where people choose corruption. God does not bless what He did not build. And He does not preserve what He did not authorize. Love breaks because of spiritual forces people do not discern. There are relationships that did not collapse because the couple failed morally, emotionally, or physically. They were destroyed by spiritual interference. This is the dimension many people ignore, and because they ignore it, they keep losing battles they do not see. Here is the hidden truth most people never learn. Love is a target in the spiritual world. Why? Because true love produces unity, and unity releases power. Destiny, and destiny threatens the kingdom of darkness. Stability, and stability breaks cycles of chaos. Blessings, and blessings expand God's influence on earth. Growth, and growth multiplies light. Purpose, and purpose gives direction to generations. Satan does not fight what is already broken. He fights what is dangerous to his kingdom. And a united, godly relationship is one of the most dangerous weapons on earth. That is why Satan hates unity. He hates covenant. He hates faithfulness. He hates godly love. He hates anything that reflects God's nature. So he does not always attack with violence. Most times, he attacks silently, slowly, psychologically, and spiritually. He attacks through confusion, so people stop understanding each other. Insecurity, so trust dies quietly. Jealousy, so love turns into suspicion. Temptation, so desire becomes a trap. Fear, so communication shuts down. Miscommunication, so small issues become wars. Emotional wounds, so the past controls the present. Old trauma, so healing is resisted. Spiritual manipulation, so decisions are no longer pure. Witchcraft, so affection turns into hatred without reason. Generational curses, so history repeats itself. Evil voices in dreams, so minds are poisoned at night. Spiritual spouses, husbands, and wives of the night, so the soul is divided in secret. And the couple wonders, why do I suddenly hate the person I once loved? It is not always emotional. It is not always logical. Sometimes, it is spiritual. The invisible war against visible love. Two people can truly love each other. They can be faithful. They can be sincere. They can be committed. But if they do not fight spiritually, their love can be separated by invisible hands. Because what is not protected spiritually will always be attacked spiritually. Love needs more than romance. Love needs more than communication. Love needs more than counseling. Love must be prayed for, covered spiritually, protected by discernment, guarded against evil influence. Because the enemy does not rest. If love is not defended in the spirit, it will be wounded in the physical. Revelation of this point. Many people lost relationships and blamed distance, money, friends, character, stress. But the real battle was never in the flesh. It was in the spirit. You cannot win a spiritual war with emotional strategies. Love that survives is not just emotional, it is spiritual. 3. Love breaks when you trust the wrong people. Love is sacred. Love is delicate. Love is powerful, but it is also exposed when it is not protected. Yet many people make this fatal mistake. They open the door of their relationship to outsiders. And outsiders are not harmless. Outsiders can be deadly. Every relationship that is not protected will be invaded. A jealous friend can slowly poison your partner's heart with hidden words. A relative can plant doubt where trust once lived. A co-worker can become a secret temptation and destroy unity from inside. A so-called best friend can become the serpent in the garden. Not everyone around you is happy about your happiness. Some people clap with their hands but curse with their hearts. Some people smile with you but compete with you secretly. Some people advise you while desiring what you have. Not everyone who gives advice is qualified to speak into your destiny. The danger of receiving advice from the wrong background. This is a truth many people do not want to hear. You must be careful who advises you about marriage and relationships. We are all human beings, yes. But we do not all carry the same background, the same wounds, or the same experiences. Some people advise from divorce, separation, rejection, loneliness, bitterness, failure, unhealed trauma. And if you are not careful, they will pour their pain into your future. Many people today are condemned emotionally by broken relationships, trapped in the system of loneliness, bitter because their own relationships failed. And without realizing it, they push others into the same prison they live in. This is especially dangerous for women, because many fall into this trap. They follow voices that sound caring but are actually shaped by jealousy, fear, and broken identity. If you are built for marriage, do not follow advice from people who are fighting marriage. You are not condemned to loneliness. You are not cursed because you desire covenant. You are not wrong for wanting a godly relationship. But if you listen to the wrong voices, they will rewrite your vision and destroy your future. The garden principle of love. A relationship is like a garden. If you open it to everyone, weeds will grow. Poison will be planted. The flowers will suffer. Not everyone should enter the garden of your relationship. Some people must be limited, restricted, observed, kept at a distance. Because access is power. And whoever has access can either protect or destroy. Revelation of this point. Love does not break because of enemies outside. Love breaks because of enemies allowed inside. You don't lose relationships by attack alone, you lose them by access. Guard your love. Guard your partner. Guard your relationship. Because once trust is broken by the wrong voices, even true love can bleed to death. For love breaks because people stop feeding it. Love is not magic. Love is not automatic. Love is not self-sufficient. Love is alive. And anything that is alive must be fed to survive. If you feed it, it grows. If you starve it, it dies. This is the silent killer of many relationships. Not betrayal. Not adultery. Not scandal. But neglect. Many relationships do not die violently. They die quietly. Slowly. Silently. One ignored conversation at a time. One postponed apology at a time. One forgotten affection at a time. People wake up one day and say, "I don't feel the love anymore." But the truth is simple. You did not lose love, you stopped feeding it. What love must eat to live? Love does not survive on words alone. Love survives on daily investment. Love needs attention, because love dies when it feels invisible. Communication, because silence creates distance. Understanding, because love suffocates in misunderstanding. Forgiveness, because bitterness poisons affection. Time, because love cannot grow in a hurry. Patience, because people are still becoming. Honesty, because lies choke trust. Affection, because the heart also needs to feel chosen. Humility, because pride turns love into a battlefield. When these disappear, even the strongest love will suffocate. The starvation principle. You cannot starve a relationship and then pray for it to survive. You cannot withhold affection, withhold communication, withhold patience, withhold effort, withhold forgiveness and still expect passion to remain alive. That is like refusing food every day and still demanding strength in your body. A relationship is not destroyed only by what enters it, it is also destroyed by what is missing from it. The daily bread of love. The same way your body needs food daily, your relationship needs nourishment daily. Not only emotional nourishment, but also spiritual nourishment. Praying together. Speaking life over each other. Covering each other spiritually. Blessing each other instead of fighting each other. Because love is not only emotional. Love is spiritual. And when love is not fed in the spirit, it becomes weak in the flesh. Final revelation of this point. Many people are crying over dead relationships they personally starved. Not with hatred, but with busyness. With pride. With distraction. With excuses. With emotional absence. Love does not die because it is weak. Love dies because it is neglected. Feed your love. Protect your love. Invest in your love. Or it will slowly fade, even while both people are still living under the same roof. 5. Love breaks when people refuse to grow. Sometimes the relationship did not fail, the people inside it refused to mature. Love did not collapse because it was weak. It collapsed because growth stopped. You cannot carry a grown covenant with a childish mindset. You cannot build a future with childish behavior, uncontrolled anger, selfishness, pride, stubbornness, emotional immaturity, dishonesty, and still expect love to flourish. These are not small weaknesses. They are silent assassins of covenant. Love grows only when people grow. Love does not mature by time alone. Love matures by self-examination, humility, correction, healing, accountability, transformation. A relationship can only rise to the level of the lowest maturity inside it. 2 types of people in relationships. Some people fight for the relationship. Others Fight inside the relationship. Some people seek healing. Others protect their wounds. Some people choose communication. Others choose silence. Some people want partnership. Others want control. Some people want unity. Others want power. These two mindsets cannot walk together for long. The burden of one-sided maturity. Here is a painful truth most people live but few confess. Love requires two mature hearts. One mature heart cannot carry two souls forever. One person cannot always forgive, always apologize, always change, always grow, always sacrifice, always understand, while the other remains the same. At some point, exhaustion replaces passion. At some point, frustration replaces hope. At some point, love begins to bleed under the weight of imbalance. Final revelation of this point. Relationships do not fail because love disappears. They fail because growth is rejected. Where there is no growth, there is no future. Love is not sustained by feelings alone. Love is sustained by transformation. If both people are willing to grow, love can survive storms. If one refuses to grow, even peace becomes a burden. 6. Love breaks when God did not originate it. Here is the deepest truth many people struggle to accept. Not every relationship is God's will. Some relationships are our desires, not His design. Born from loneliness, not destiny. Born from the flesh, not the spirit. Born from wounds, not wisdom. Born from pressure, not purpose. And here is the unchanging spiritual law. Anything started outside God will require human strength to sustain it, and human strength always fails. At first, it may look beautiful. At first, it may feel powerful. At first, it may seem right. But over time, what God did not plant, He will not sustain. Because God does not maintain what He did not ordain. When breaking is actually mercy. Some relationships did not break because the devil won. They broke because God intervened. Some separations are not punishments, they are protections. Some endings are not losses, they are rescues. God sees what you cannot see. What is forming in secret? What will rise in the future? And what will destroy you tomorrow? So He removes you today. Rejection is sometimes direction. Separation can be salvation. What feels like abandonment may actually be deliverance. What feels like loss may actually be divine extraction. Revelation of this point. Not every closed door is the devil. Not every broken relationship is a failure. Some are answers to prayers you don't even remember praying. God will break what would have broken you. And when He does, it is not because He hates you, it is because He loves you too much to let you die in the wrong place. Final revelation, protect love or lose it. Love is not weak. Love is not fragile. Love is powerful. But hear this truth clearly. Even the most powerful love will die if it is not protected. Love is not destroyed only by evil, it is destroyed by carelessness. It is not always betrayal that kills love, sometimes it is lack of guarding. If you truly want your relationship to survive, you must guard it spiritually, because the greatest battles are unseen. Choose your friends wisely, because not every voice deserves access. Remove outsiders, because too many hands will destroy one destiny. Communicate openly, because silence creates space for the enemy. Grow continuously, because stagnation is the enemy of covenant. Practice forgiveness, because bitterness poisons love slowly. Build trust intentionally, because suspicion starves affection. Be disciplined, because love without discipline becomes emotional chaos. Seek God's guidance daily, because love outside God becomes blind. Feed the love every day, because love that is not fed will fade. The simple but eternal truth. Love breaks when people stop fighting for it. Love survives when people fight together, not against each other. You don't lose love because storms come. You lose love when pride replaces humility, silence replaces communication, self replaces sacrifice, ego replaces unity. The enemy does not need to destroy relationships, he only needs to make two people turn against each other. The last word. Love is not maintained by feelings. Love is sustained by choice, discipline, sacrifice, prayer, growth, protection. If you protect love, it will protect you. If you guard love, it will guard your destiny. If you honor love, it will honor your future. But if you expose love carelessly, life will expose the pain mercilessly.